Hi, and welcome to Inside Chat. My name is Brad Sandlands, Quality Insight co-owner and director. Again, welcome to our Inside Studio One, where we aim to push through a fair amount of content. If you do like the content that you're seeing, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out on LinkedIn. Our handle is on Quality Insight, and we are here to provide as much information as we can to the sector, as well as push our business. Let's be honest, that's what we're here to do as well. But today I really want to talk to you about a topical issue that is going to come up for the sector from the 1st of January, and that is the potential for the minimum approved or the maximum approved RAD pricing being from 550K to 750K for the residential aged care market coming up. What does this mean for providers? Well, at the moment, providers have had to seek authority to go above 550K to advertise for a room price. There's generally a various amount of metrics and different things they've got to jump through to achieve anything above 550K. But there is a feel around the market that there are providers out there that potentially will go from 550 to 750 very quickly, and there are others that will take a little bit more time. And I would note that Rachel Lane, who's well and truly an expert in the market when it comes to finances, had an interesting article today in the Sydney Morning Herald talking about you can save 200 grand by getting into aged care now as opposed to next year. That's well and good if there's beds, but also it depends on the strategy of the market. So I just want to go through a couple of points of what providers should be looking to do if they are looking to go from 550 to 750 to lift their advertised room rates. Look, the first one is training. I go on about training a lot through all my blogs and different things that we do, but it is essential that frontline staff that are dealing with admissions are trained properly to articulate why room rates may have changed. Bed brokers, people in the know in the sector, hospitals, they'll all know that the advertised room rate for a certain facility was 550, and then overnight it's gone to 750. There's going to be questions asked as to why. Explanations may be given, they maybe not, but your frontline staff need to understand what those changes are, how to articulate them, and how to also sell the value and the benefit. I mean, the 550 to 750 allows the market to dictate whether they go into a home or not. But also you need to be able to sell the value and the benefit of that. What you should also do as a provider, you need to do some market analysis if that move is right for you. If you're a provider, and I would be doing this if I was a provider that was full for a considerable amount of time, I'm not talking a couple of weeks or months, I'm talking for 6 to 12 months or more, that you've had a full house and you've achieved your maximum RAD rate. I'm not talking about RAD-DAP combination. People have paid you that maximum 550K RAD in cash for that room for a long period of time. Then you've absolutely got a case to take that room from 550 to 750. The other thing you should be looking at too around that market consideration, if you've got a product that you built new, you stuck it at 550 because it was a little bit too hard to go through the application process for IHAC, then you would definitely look at bringing it up. But again, look at the history. If the history is dictated that you've never achieved a 550K cash payment on that RAD, there's no case really to lift it up. The other thing you need to be looking at when you're looking at local market review, what's your housing and unit pricing doing? It's not good enough just to look at a housing sector that's gone up by 10, 15%. You also need to look at what the unit rates have gone up, what the surrounding suburbs have gone up, and also have a look at potentially what your competitors have done in the market. Have they been full for a while? Have they not? You can get that market validation pretty quickly. We also do that market validation through surveys and direct consumer interactions that we do as well. So you can find out what the local market is to help you build the case as to why lift it. You're not building a case for IHAC, you're actually building a case for yourself to understand that your feature and benefit and the value that you're putting forward is right for the 200K lift. The next thing you need to consider in that lift of pricing is, what is your strategic position over the next 5 years? If you're going to lift from 550 to 750 because the room is relatively new, It's got all the bells and whistles. You may want to consider doing a lift to 750 on January 1st, and then from July 1st, you may want to consider doing a lift above that, which gives you the ability to CPI index, but also lift with the market. If you're a new build and you're considering what you should do, don't put it at 750. I'd be looking at the 5-year plan and going above that. You don't want to go back and ask for a second amount of permission to lift your prices in 1 to 2 years' time. It's simply just too much work to do in a short period of time. You want to make sure you do it once, you get the maximum of what you can be looking for, and then you can always bring your advertised room rate down and then taper it up as you go through the next couple of years. There's a real trick to room pricing. Also keep in mind, it's only really valid to those residents that are sitting in the high means bracket, or the non-supported bracket, as some people would say. But yeah, it's really only a segment of the market that this is applicable to. Anyone that's sitting in the moderate means or partially supported or fully supported category, advertised room rate means absolutely nothing. So you're not talking to the whole market when you're lifting a price, and that should also be considered in your own validation around if you lift room prices. The argument, why go 750 immediately? It's pretty obvious that some facilities or some providers there can go to 750 quite quickly because they've undervalued themselves. But what this would also mean is that they would also have the potential cash to expand, build new, or renovate what they've got. Keeping in mind, it is probably 18 months to 24 months before they start seeing that 750 really kick in. So when you're making that decision, the better you can strategically plan for it. And I would hope that every provider is out there hitting the books this week and in the next couple of weeks, looking at what are they going to do on the 1st of January and lock that in, or gaining some extra market intelligence to help them make that decision. But really now is the time to really review, are you going to do it post January 1st? Every month that you don't do something is another 18 to 24 months on top of that before you see that actually coming back into being something that was viable and worthwhile at the time. That sort of answers the question around when should the lift occur. I had that asked a couple of times at the ACPA conference, or Aging Australia Now conference in Adelaide. Look, for me, if I'm in that position, and possibly am in that position of looking at lifting prices, I'm looking to do it on the 1st of January. I'm looking to conduct my market intelligence over the next couple of weeks. I'm putting those cases forward to executives or board members if that's where the sign-offs need to come from. And I'm getting myself ready to make sure that on the 1st of January, I'm logging those details into My Aged Care so we get the approvals through that system working correctly. All my websites are updated, all my collateral is updated. So when the teams return back from Christmas break, they can start selling at that rate. Does that mean I might get an influx of people wanting to come in before Christmas? Only if I've got available beds. It's really difficult to bring them in. We may do some sort of arrangements that we have the pricing from a grandfathered point of view over a period of time. Maybe not as well. It just depends on what's going on with the market at the time. But that extra 200 grand ability to bring in extra RAD money over that period of time is certainly going to be an attractive proposition for any company that wants to expand and any company that wants to shore up their books. In terms of the other bits and pieces of the Act that may relate to the RADs, we don't know if it's set in stone yet. Well, it's certainly not set in stone yet. It hasn't been passed, but it's more around, are these things going to be in? So the 2% retention over 5 years, all those things are very attractive. And if that does come through, putting your RAD pricing up to the maximum levels that you can is certainly something I'd do quicker. Thanks for listening. I hope you liked and enjoyed the content we spoke about. This is opinion. It's my opinion. I'm not swayed by anyone else. And when I look at these sort of things, if you do like what you see and hear, please like and subscribe, and join me next time for Inside Chat. Thanks again.